I've heard chicken is one of the least healthiest. I know we were both talking about how we like bison. We prefer bison, turkey perhaps. Um, but yeah, what do you think of that?
Lean meat like chicken and turkey, in terms of like the essential amino acid profile, is not as high as something like red beef or bison. But it's not only that, it's just realizing that perhaps the Jim Bro conventional diet of like rice and chicken is not the most optimal. Yeah, like my suggestion would be, especially if you're trying to lose weight, is trying to cut glucose spike, right? So there's several ways you can do it. This is one of my tactics that I really enjoy and I really like, is mitigating the glucose spike. So if you are going to eat carbohydrates, for example, I tell most people, if you are trying to lose weight, try to cut the carbs, right, to a certain amount for an extended period of time, and then you go reducing it and see how your body feels. Most people just cut it directly, right? They go from one extreme to the other extreme, and then they feel that pendulum and that swing, and then their body goes crazy. Because most people are like, you're born, here's a cookie. You're born, here's this, here's that, and your body becomes addicted to all these carbohydrates. So when you cut them out, your body's like, dude, what happened to me? Where's my sugar? So you have to like lean off of it, just like you can lean, like people that cut cigarettes after smoking many years, their body has an adverse reaction to it. So you have to lean off of these substances. So what I suggest people is, if you are trying to lose weight, you want to become metabolically flexible, which basically means your body can tap just as good as it can tapping into sugar, which most people are sugar burners, as well as it can tap into fat. The issue is most people never get tap into fat because they're always putting some carbohydrate, aka sugar, into their body that raises the glucose spike. And then there's also the process of, people talk about glucose spike and glycation aging you faster. Every time you put something into your body, you're working and you are aging faster. So you want to try to mitigate that process of the glucose spike. And a suggestion I have, it's very simple: apple cider vinegar.
I hear you talking about that.
Apple cider, and people hate the flavor. I'm like, okay, fine, you hate the flavor. Find ways to add different ingredients into the potion or the recipe where the apple cider doesn't taste. You can't taste it. You can put chlorophyll, which is phenomenal, super high in magnesium. I recommend most people get on chlorophyll, and lemon or lime. You squeeze that, drink it before your meal, also separating your carbohydrates from your protein, not combining both of them together into the stomach at the same time. Separating your beverages from your food. So also drink warm water or room temperature water. Huge hack.
Why is that?
Because when you put cold water into your system, it's a lot easier for the fat tissue to stay there and instead of actually tapping into it. So apple cider vinegar, then carbohydrates, protein. Right after that, go for a walk. And then you're reducing glucose spike, triple whammy.
So going back to the glucose spikes and stuff, I don't know if I told anyone this. I actually told one person this, I think. But during that period where I was eating unhealthy, not optimizing my health, I actually, funny enough, did a blood test with Gary Brecka with 10x Health. And for whatever reason, I usually get blood work every 6 to 8 months trying to, monitor stuff. And on my traditional like blood panels, they wouldn't read my glucose levels or my insulin levels. But when I did blood work with Gary, they did an entire deep dive panel on everything. And during this period of when I was eating unhealthy, I was also trying to bulk and put on weight because most of my life I've been underweight. And I was like, all right, for this period of my life, I'm going to put on some more weight, try to bulk up and, get thicker, if you want to call it that. But I do blood work with Gary. And then a couple weeks go by, I get my results. And I have like this warning sign next to my, I have this warning sign next to my glucose levels and my insulin resistance. And it turned out that if I had kept doing what I was doing, which was eating a shit ton of like carbs and simple carbs, simple carbs in one sitting, I was on a path to developing type 2 diabetes.
Which most people have. Like, it's literally, Wally's coming to the reality. The movie Wally, where we see all these overweight people flying on spaceships to Mars. I'm not even sure if it's Mars, but with Elon, it's probably going to be Mars. But yeah, bro, type 2 diabetes is on the rise. And it's the food, bro.